So, a lot of times you are given equations or word problems that you can use equations to compare two different stores, sometimes two different companies, two different people, and you have to create your two equations first, and then look at their slopes and y-intercepts to determine the answer to the question that you're given. We're going to look at this first example together, and I'm going to do 2 or 3 examples with you, and hopefully that will help in building the process for these type of problems. So you have a store sells apples and oranges. The equation y equals 1.75x represents the cost to buy x pounds of apples. So I'm going to put apples. So the equation that goes with that is y equals 1.75x. Obviously, that means for every pound of apples, you have to pay $1.75. So next we have a table for your oranges. So if you're given this table of values, you're going to have to find the equation that goes with this table. So I'm going to go to Desmos. Excuse me. And here I'm looking still at the problem. I'm going to add a table. So my table of values is 2.5. These are all pounds. 2.5, 3.0, 3.5, and 4.0. So for 2.5 pounds of oranges, it's going to cost $6.25. And then for 3 pounds, it's $7.50. And 3.5 pounds, $8.75. And then $10 for 4 pounds. And these points are plotted here. So I want to get an equation for that. So I'm going to put y1 is approximately, or it's called a tilde. It's the little sign beside of the 1. mx, I have to put the 1 there, plus b. Notice I had to, instead of y equals mx plus b, I had to use a y1 for this. I have to use a tilde symbol. It's the symbol beside of the 1. M and then x1 because this is an x1 plus b. And here they gave me my equation, my m or my slope is 2.5. Now obviously I also could have divided 6.25 divided by 2.5 pounds, and I could do each of these costs divided by this, and it gives me $2.50 per pound. So obviously one costs more than the other. So the question asks, how much more does a pound of oranges than a pound of apples? So oranges is $2.50, apples is $1.75. So $2.50 minus your $1.75 is 75 cents. Answer A. Again, here this could have been a lot simpler by just, like this one probably would have been the easiest to figure out. $10 divided by 4 pounds is $2.50 per pound. But I did want to show you how to do it on your calculator as well. Excuse me. Here's another one. This one they're calling it a function. So here the first function is y equals, looks like 6 over 5x plus 2. 6/5 x plus 2. The second function is a table. So I could find my slope and I can actually find my y-intercept. This is my y-intercept, the -6. So y equals, I'm going to put my -6 out here for my y-intercept, and I'm going to find my slope. I'm just going to pick this section. I added 3 here, and I added 2 here. So 3 over 2x minus 6. You do the change in y's over the change in x's. So now I have my two different functions. Which statement is true? First, the y-intercepts are the same. Well, your y-intercept is 2 for this one and negative 6 for this one. So that is false. The slope for function 1 is greater than the slope of function 2. We have 6/5 and 3/2. Well, 6/5 is the same thing as 1.2. And 3/2 is the same thing as 1.5. So the slope for 1 is not, that is false. The slope for function 2, 1.5, is greater than the first one. That one looks like it could be true. And then this one, the y-intercept of function 2, negative 6, is greater than this y-intercept of function 1, and that is false. Important thing here is we found our y-intercept in the table. You could have also went into your Desmos and typed the table in, entered it into the table, and then did your y equals mx plus b and get your equation that way. And I did the slope by doing one of the humps, changing y's over changing x's. One more for this video. Alan compared the slope of this function, y equals 3x plus 2. So the slope for this one is 3. And the slope for this one. So we really don't even need your y-intercept. We just need the slope. So I'm just going to pick a couple of points here. The slope here is plus 4. So my change in y over change in x's is 4 over, from here to here, is plus 2. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. So that's my two slopes, 3 and 2. So which one is more? Because we're talking about more than. Which one is more? The first one. So equation 1 is more. The slope of the graph of equation 1 is more than the slope of the graph of the table. I believe that's it. 2 is not bigger. The slope of the table is 1 more. No. The slope of the table is 2 more. No. So the correct answer is A. Notice how I'm going through every single answer choice and I'm making notes on both functions in order to compare them, and then I read through my answer choices and see which one makes sense. So there's some examples, and I will probably be doing some more tomorrow.